So my name's David Wood, and in addition to being a member of the Government Economic Service, I'm also the head of the Government Geography profession, which is the newest of the analytical professions within the analysis function. We were formed just over 3 years ago, initially as a sub-profession within government science and engineering, but we grew significantly over the first couple of years, and therefore last year we became a standalone profession based at the Geospatial Commission in Cabinet Office, and joined the analytical function as one of the 7 professions that make up the function. Very varied. Unfortunately, I don't do my role in the government geography profession full time. So I do it in addition to my day job at DEFRA, where I'm the head of the Environment Analysis Unit, as well as the strategic lead for data science across the DEFRA group. So depending on the day of the week, it depends on which hat I'm wearing. Be it in my core job in the Environment Analysis Unit, which is a truly multidisciplinary division of natural scientists, economists, social researchers, statisticians, data scientists, data engineers, and of course, geographers. Or whether I'm doing work more across the DEFRA group on establishing our analytical environment and opening up data sets, or whether I'm focusing on the geography profession. If I discount my very limited private sector experience lifeguarding my way through university, and good morning, little one. I'm actually recording. I'm recording an interview, and if you're watching TV, can you close the living room door? Sorry, guys. Can we just take a second? Yeah, being a good analyst, I extrapolated the trend of the Easter holidays, and I wasn't expecting teenagers to get up before 10 o'clock. Sorry about that.
That's all right. So she start that question again then.
Yes, so remind me of the question. So if we discount my private sector experience lifeguarding my way through university, my career has been within the civil service. So I joined what is now MHCLG in the last millennia, which makes me sound increasingly old. I joined in 1999 to work on local government funding, and I've moved around between DFT, DEFRA, Department for Education, BAYS, and the Ministry of Justice, with kind of geography and place being a constant theme in the roles that I've undertaken. So, as I mentioned, we're a relatively new profession, so we're just starting our journey in terms of how we can best support our members to do their jobs to the best of their ability, as well as thinking through the kind of standards and the entry routes into the profession. But I think that geography is absolutely core and central to the work of the analysis function. Be it, if you look at the big issues that we're facing as society, from levelling up to climate change, to even the impact of the coronavirus, and the different impacts it's had in different places and how we've had to respond, through to if you look at the work of the other professions in the function, and the importance of place to them, be it the supplementary guidance to the Statistics Code of Practice on geography. If you go through the Magenta book or the Green book, the importance of place, understanding whether policies have had the same impact in all places or not, and why not, or if you're doing distributional impacts of new policies, whether they you expect them to play out in the same way in different places. Geography is core and central to that, which is why we look to collaborate with the other professions, and why a number of our members are actually members of more than one profession, like myself in the Government Economic Service. So I think the biggest change for us as a profession in the last year is the fact that we've become a standalone profession and joined the analysis function. So we've put a lot of effort into putting in place the things that the other professions have. So we've now got our public-facing website, which is geography.gov.uk, which sets out everything we do as a profession. and also how to join. And we've also built our members website, which, as well as being our registration process for colleagues across the civil service, public service and Crown servants, also enables our members to access the range of benefits from monthly webinars, annual conferences, annual awards, as well as being a members directory on there as well. Given that we are now a standalone profession, a lot of our work at the moment is very, taking that step back and considering what the next 3 to 5 years will hold for us as a profession. I think a lot of the focus for the profession in the first couple of years was how best we could support our members. And you can see that by the range of benefits that we offer our members to help support them in their careers. I think our focus looking forward and the strategy will start to think about things like, more entry routes into government and the public sector. So things like apprenticeships, as well as how we can kind of bring together the best practice from across our membership into guidance and standards in the way some of the other professions have done, from the Aqua Book to the Magenta Book and the Green Book, etc. Of course, for a lot of our members this year, one of the big challenges has been helping their organisations respond to the challenges of the coronavirus, where government's response has been very place-based, and that's really shone a light on the importance of geospatial data and geography in terms of thinking through the different challenges that different areas face and how we should respond accordingly. One of the real strengths of the geography profession is we really are a very wide and diverse profession. We cover everything from people on the ground collecting geodata through to geospatial data science and everything in between. We've got over 1,400 members now, and you can see from the different organisations of our membership the richness in the different types of roles that our members undertake, from the Environment Agency to the Ministry of Defence and colleagues in local government. We have three broad types of membership. We have geographers doing really technical geography roles. And these members, aren't members of other professions or functions. And the job roles that we've developed as part of the analysis function career framework really set out some of the work that these people do. We have other members who are analysts, who are members of one of the other analytical professions as well, just like myself in the government economic service. We have a lot of members who are members of the Government Statistical Service or the social searchers, for example. And then we have the third kind of broad category, which are geographers who are undertaking roles in the wider business, be it in policy roles, delivery roles, HR, finance, where their geography training and background is core to who they are, and the spatial lens through which they approach problems in the business. And we welcome all three categories of members and look to support each of them. For existing civil servants, public servants and Crown servants, it's very easy to join the profession. You just go to members.geography.gov.uk and fill out your details there. For people looking to pursue a geography career in government and the wider public sector, there are a number of routes into these roles. There is a page on our public-facing website, geography.gov.uk, but there are a number of routes in, be it direct competitions that individual organisations run, through to the direct entry routes that some of the other professions run. So if you're a statistician and a geographer, you can join through one of the entry routes for the Government Statistical Service. And when you join government, then you can join the geography profession as well. I think our strength as an analysis function is our diversity and the fact that we can take a really multidisciplinary approach to the big challenges that we face as society. So, when I was mentioning my team in DEFRA, it's a truly multidisciplinary team, and we've grown the different professions within it so that we can draw on the strengths of each in tackling some of the big environmental challenges that we face. And we're increasingly seeing that in teams across the public sector, which I think is fantastic. And as I also mentioned, geography is really important to the work of all of the professions, as reflected in the Stats Code of Practice, the Magenta Book, and the Green Book. And so we look to work, with the other professions, as we implement, government's policies. So if you'd asked me this question a year ago, I'd say that outside of work, I'm just a taxi driver to my two very active kids, driving them all over Surrey to their various sporting events and parties, etc. But obviously, it's been a very different year in the last 12 months. And I've had the opportunity to get outside more, going for walks and connecting with the local area and nature. And actually, I've just booked a 2-week trek to Everest Base Camp in September. So I'm going to have to get training for that, I suspect, between now and then.
That sounds exciting, Everest.
No, just drop that in.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the fact that so my wife isn't coming. She's been working outside the home because she's a dental hygienist. And so she basically said that I'm going out my mind being stuck indoors. She gets to go out every day to work. The kids go out every day. So I should do something for myself. And she said, go do this and I'll pay for you. I do wonder whether this is her way of trying to collect the life insurance or not. It's a sensible investment. But
You better check your insurance policy.
I think she already has.